Curaçao enters the 2026 World Cup as one of the most improbable and captivating stories of the entire tournament. A tiny island of just 150,000 people making its debut on the world stage, and thrown into a brutal Group E with Germany, Ecuador, and Ivory Coast. But here's the thing, Curaçao is not here on vacations, and the more that you study them, the more you realize that this team is far from naive because Curaçao is, in many ways, a Dutch football satellite disguised as a Caribbean nation. Their squad is filled with players raised in the elite Eredivisie academies. 25 out of the 26 players were born outside of Curaçao, and the entire project is led by one of the most experienced managers in world football, Dick Advocaat, who at 78 years old becomes the oldest coach ever to lead a national team to the World Cup. And today we're going to break down exactly why Curaçao is here, how they play, and what we can realistically expect from them. Now, my name is Alejandro Mendez. I'm a football video analyst, and today we'll be breaking down Curaçao. First of all, we need to understand their historic qualification. They took advantage of a rare opening in CONCACAF with Mexico, the United States, and Canada qualifying automatically as host. Now, with that happening, the region opened up, and Curaçao stepped through the door with authority. They imposed their technical superiority through the qualifiers and sealed their ticket with a dramatic 0-0 draw in Kingston against Jamaica. If they had lost, they were out. But I mean, they held on the moment that the referee blew the final whistle, Curaçao celebrated one of the most iconic scenes of the entire qualifying cycle. Advocat had actually resigned 3 months earlier due to health issues involving his daughter, and the federation brought in Fred Rutten, but the players insisted that on Advocat's return, and he came back. That alone tells you everything about the bond between this squad and their coach. He brought structure, realism, and tactical discipline to a federation that desperately needed direction. The result is a hybrid unlike anything else in the tournament, Caribbean improvisation fused with Dutch tactical order. Now, Curaçao knows exactly who they are and who they are not as well. This team is built on a compact defensive block, also in a 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-2 shape. They have very little high pressing, a low or mid block designed to shrink space, and explosive counterattacks. They want the game to be slow, predictable, and narrow for the opponents. Curaçao forces the rivals to attack from wide areas, closing central channels with discipline and numbers, and when they recover the ball, they don't waste time. They go direct, vertical, and fast. This is not a possession team, this is a resistance team. Okay? Now, one of the most interesting tactical features from Curaçao is their defensive shape. When they drop into low block, the fullbacks Sambo and Floranos took in, and the two Vacuna brothers, Leandro and Juninho, they drop alongside them. The result is a 4-2 defensive wall, extremely compact and difficult to break through. This structure is designed to protect the box, force crosses, win aerial duels, collapse on second balls, launch immediate counterattacks, and it's simple, but it's effective, especially for a team that knows it will spend the most time in the game without the ball. Now, the most important player in the entire system is Comenencia, the holding midfielder. He is the first pass, the rhythm setter, the organizer, the transition launcher, and the player that the team looks for under pressure. He even scored a goal, a really important goal against Jamaica in the qualifying. This is a reminder that he can appear in the final third when he's actually needed. If Curaçao wants to survive in this group stage, Comenencia must have the tournament of his life. Now, the Vacuna brothers, Juninho and Leandro, together they drop into defensive line, they help close central spaces, they lead the build-up when Curaçao has the ball, take the set pieces, and provide experience and composure. Juninho is the creative leader when Leandro is the balance and the glue. Juninho is the most technical gifted player in the squad, and Leandro is the one who appears in the right spaces in the right time. But in this case, both are essential. Now, we need to also talk about Chong. The most talented attacker in their time team is Tahith Chong. He's a former Manchester United player and he brings pace, dribbling, one-on-one ability, creativity, and he is really unpredictable. Chong is the player who can turn a clearance into a counterattack into a chance, and a chance into a goal. In the team that they know that they will have the ball for short periods of time, Chung is one of the most important players in their entire system. We also need to talk about Jürgen Locadia. Up front, Curaçao relies on Locadia. He's a former PSV player and Brighton striker. He brings strength, hold-up play, experience, and he's also a reference point for transitions. Locadia is the anchor that allows Chong and the Vacuna brothers to join the attack. Without him, Curaçao will struggle to connect their counterattacks as well. Now, their expected 11. The most likely lineup from this Curaçao, it will be Room in the goalkeeper. Room is also was pretty crucial for the whole qualifying stage. 30 saves, 6 clean sheets, and a crucial weapon that is the long distribution, long passes. So there, he's usually the first attacker, believe it or not, being the goalkeeper. Then we have Sambo in the right back, Banigma in the center back, Obispo as a center back, and Floranos as the left back. Then we have Combinancia as a number 5. Then we have the Vacuna brothers, Leandro and Juninho. And then up front we have Chong, Gorre, and Locadia. They have a compact, disciplined, transition-oriented team. Now, but the real question is, what can we expect from Curaçao? Okay? Curaçao has almost no margin for any mistake. Germany arrives with enormous pressure after two disastrous World Cups. Ecuador is one of the most intense and physically dominant teams in South America. Ivory Coast, also a dark horse with elite athleticism and technical quality. It will take a miracle for Curaçao to reach the round of 16s, but they will compete, they will defend well, and they will counter with danger. And if any opponent plays an imprecise, chaotic match, Curaçao can punish them. Regardless of the result, their presence alone is already a triumph for their nation. At some point in this group, they will surprise someone. Now, we need to understand that this team is also allowed to be built by different FIFA rules after 2020 chaos that happened that allow multiple teams to national and multiple players. This allows Curaçao to be a top competitive team in CONCACAF and make it to the World Cup, thanks to FIFA as well. If you enjoy this type of video, please subscribe. The next video is going to be about Congo, okay? It's also one of the teams in this World Cup with the most amount of players that they are not born in the country. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.